Hi, Jennifer Kinsel here, Fox Family Homes, Charles Rutenberg Realty of Illinois. How are all you doing today? So I had a question come in about a forbearance. This is when you've asked your lender to give you a temporary stay from making your mortgage payment. Now, this has become way more popular in the last 6 months due to COVID-19. And of course, the problem is that you can get a temporary hold on your mortgage payment, but then it all suddenly comes due at the end of that term, which, if your mortgage payment, let's say, is $2,000 a month, so March, April, May, you've delayed paying for $6,000. And then end of May, June 1st, they want $6,000 all of a sudden, which for some people didn't quite come back on their jobs if it was job-related income loss. Some of them had health issues that, they couldn't go back to the work that they had. There was other issues involved that might be long-term, combined with short-term health. Everybody's situation was different. So the good news is that usually a forbearance is not going to negatively impact your credit. However, if you're in the middle of the forbearance and then you decide, hey, I'd like to do a refinance because the mortgage rates are super low right now, great idea. They're going to look at that and go, well, you guys are already in forbearance. Yeah, it might be a risk to try to refi. I know, lowering your payment, that's so risky. Obviously, why would they want to do that side of the equation, right? So they don't always hit you on the credit side for their score, but it can affect you if you try to do a refi. So the other issue with the forbearance is, a lot of mortgage companies saw this come up in 2020, and they have to make that call on, is this going to be long-term or the short term? If it's long-term, like something to do with your health, and you're never going to be able to back on your feet to make that full payment, that's one issue. But if it's a short-term fix, you just job jump into something else and you pick up where you left off, then maybe, that's a short-term issue. But it's only an option if you don't have any other option. I would not recommend it. Of course, I am not your legal counsel or mortgage lender or tax advisor, but they are a little tricky and they can add up, especially at the end of the forbearance period. So if you think that this is the only option, make sure you get in front of your lender and talk to them right away. Don't wait. Make sure they're fully aware of the situation. If it's job loss or a health issue or it's long-term, short-term, whichever it is, never wait till the last second. Always be upfront with your lender, and they can certainly help you out in any way they can. Now, if you go back in and your forbearance ends, let's say, $6,000 and 3 months later and you don't have it, or the job's not there, or whatever the situation, you can ask your lender for assistance. 2 ways I've seen people work through this have been adding that $6,000 to the back end of their loan. Sort of like instead of paying up front, they're just going to be adding on an extra 3 months to their 30-year mortgage. The other way I've seen it worked out is talking to your lender to ask about a loan modification. Now, a loan modification also can be short-term or long-term. Sometimes people can get them for 6 months, and they'll say, hey, due to the job market, due to my health issues, whatever, I need a loan modification. Instead of $2,000 a month, let's, chop it down to $1,000 a month for the next 6 months. You'll still owe the forbearance part. That was the original $6,000 that, was forborn. And then you'll have, moving forward after that, you'll have the loan modification. So never wait till the last second. Always talk to your lender first. They are actually trying to keep people in their homes, and they don't want to end up foreclosing. It's really a hassle. It's expensive. It's a big time suck. They don't want to end up holding property. They don't want to have to sell your property. They really do want you to stay in the home for as long as you can. And that way it's one less thing they have to worry about, and you get a roof over your head. So let's try to keep that in mind. Let's all work toward the goal of keeping you in the house, because that was a win for everybody. So if you've got more questions on how a forbearance can impact your credit, how to handle one with your lender, or what your situation has been with your lender. Have you had a good experience? Have they been answering the phones? Have they been, hiding behind voicemail? Sometimes that happens. Stick on them. Don't give up on that. If you've got to get it solved, you need to stay on the phone with them. It will get picked up and they will finally answer. It takes a long time on a lot of these calls. I know, it's frustrating. So let me know what your experiences have been like. Thanks.